Hi there, this is Matthew J. Peters, the CEO of Ascend Media, and tonight I'm continuing the 10-minute training series, and tonight we're going to be talking about stop doing the wrong things and how entrepreneurs delay their success by staying busy. You know, there are so many different parts of being an entrepreneur. If you're a coach or a consultant, it's not just you and one other person having a conversation. There's a lot to do, especially when it comes to your marketing, bookkeeping, all those different parts of your business, onboarding, all your website, your SEO, all those things. We tend to wear all of these hats. And what I'm trying to get across to you tonight is when you do that, you're delaying your success. I had a job once that the CBO, Chief Branding Officer, said, be willing to sweep the floors. And I get it. Like if you're a leader, if you are someone who's in charge, everything comes to you, right? Your responsibility is the bottom line. So be willing to sweep the floors. Do whatever it takes. If no one else is stepping up, you need to step up and do it. That's just a part of being a business owner. Owning that part of that business, you just have to do what you have to do. But you also need to know when to stop sweeping. Because a lot of times as an entrepreneur, we wear all these hats. We get fascinated with learning new things and that ramping process. And what it does is every time we're ramping up and learning something like, oh, I got to learn SEO. I've got to learn how to use Final Cut Pro so I can use these specific types of transitions in my video, or I have to now learn how to podcast and how to produce a podcast. Now I need graphics for the podcast. Now I need to SEO my podcast. We get so busy with the things that don't really count. We have to think about our one thing. So let me ask you this. Are you editing your own videos, creating your social media graphics, building your website? Just stop me if this is not you. Writing your blog articles, producing your podcast, posting all of your social media. So all of us have probably done this at one point, but there has to be a point when you understand that it's time for you to stop sweeping the floors. And no one else is going to make you do that. No one else is going to make you take that jump of commitment and saying, you know what, I'm going to delegate those things. So if you're feeling that you're doing all this stuff, there's a few reasons I've seen entrepreneurs do this. Number one is no one can do it as good as I can. Number two, it's going to cost money, which I don't have, and I'm free. It doesn't cost me anything to do it for free. It takes too much time for me to communicate this out to people. Let me just do it now. It's much faster. Or I can't trust people with my logins and passwords. And no one's going to keep the high standards that I do, right? So there is going to be a transition time, but guess what? Every relationship you're going to have in your business, if it's going to be more than just you, you need to transition into it. You need to onboard people so they understand your standards, how you do things, and you need to teach them. That's just a part of it. If you think that you can't do these things, I'm going to tell you, you're already doing these things. You are already outsourcing. It may not be you're editing your videos because you like editing them, or writing your blog posts, or building your website. All those things you find kind of interesting to learn. Well, guess what? You can either be a student or you can be an entrepreneur. You can be an entrepreneur and learn all the time, but learn and move on, learn and move on, learn and delegate. Get that stuff off your plate. One of my mentors said his job at his company was to get monkeys off his back and put it on somebody else's. I thought that was brilliant, because as soon as a challenge comes up, if you don't have the opportunity to make a decision on that challenge right then, the great thing to do is bring somebody else in on that, someone who's an expert, so they can help you answer that quickly so you can get over it and move on to the next thing. Otherwise, what is the option? It's to stick in that thing that you're trying to wade through. You're trying to figure out how to do it for free. I'm not sure, but it tends to be that we stay too long stuck in an area. But you're already outsourcing. Let me ask you, are you changing your own oil, mowing your lawn, doing your pest control yourself? Are you spraying the chemicals around your house? Are you waxing your car? Do you have a professional do that? Are you cutting your own hair? Or are you going to have a professional do that? Fixing your air conditioning. Is that something you're going to watch some YouTube videos on and fix your air conditioning? How about, are you going grocery shopping, or are you growing all of your own food? Now, this is a little silly to think about this and talk about this way, but why do we have one hat on saying, I'm not going to change my own oil. I'm not going to fix my own roof. I'm going to watch a YouTube video and then I'm going to go get the materials and fix my own roof. That doesn't make any sense. But yet, when we want to learn how to edit, or we want to learn how to do our podcasts, all of our post-production and all the graphic design, we think that that's somehow different. Where did that come from? Where you will pay someone to fix your air conditioning, but you're going to take more time to learn how to edit. So why, when it comes to your business, do you do it all? And you may be delegating some things, but you like learning how to fix your website. You like learning the graphic design. Let me tell you right now, you're not good enough. Unless you're an expert at it, you're not good enough. And so you're actually keeping your business at the status quo until you decide to invest in an expert. So there's also this missed opportunity cost. Let me explain. If you charge $250 an hour or $150 or $500 an hour for your coaching, and you're also charging $8 an hour for video editing, whatever it costs to replace you, that's what you're getting paid. So if you can go on Odesk or Fiverr, or a kid down the street or your own child can learn how to edit video, or they can learn Canva and they can do that on their own, you're going to teach them some things. That's what you're choosing to pay yourself. So $250 from this client for an hour of my time, and then $8 an hour I'm paying myself instead of paying somebody else to edit my video. And yeah, I need to learn how to manage this video program in the first place. All that ramping up time is a huge opportunity cost. So invest a healthy percentage of your high ticket income to replacing yourself. A lot of times what I've seen and I've done myself in the past was I make the high ticket income and then I spend it on lifestyle, but I don't spend it on replacing myself. When I had over 100 different steps in setting up a YouTube channel and search engine optimizing everything. From the very beginning, over 100 things. I put it into a project management software. I delegated out different parts to different people. When that was done and I had everybody in their place, I didn't know what to do with my time, because I spent so many hours of doing this for every client that I thought I was the only one that could do it. So buy back your freedom and focus on your one thing. That one thing that you do, working your wheelhouse or being in the zone, the thing that you feel inspired to do, that when you're done with it, you could keep going on. Matter of fact, you have more energy than when you started. When I am directing video, I could go all day like the Energizer Bunny and people are getting tired. I'm like saying, what's next? What's next? Awesome. What's next? And other people are like, let's take a break. I'm in my zone. That's where I thrive. So when I'm done at the end of the day, I have as much energy or more than when I started. What is that for you? Because there's one thing that you do that you're pulling energy from when you're doing it. It's energizing you. So there's two ways to hire people. You can hire the novice for cheap or invest in an expert for free. Now, how do you invest in an expert for free? Well, the expert should pay for itself and more. When you invest, it pays dividends. When you spend, it disappears. So are you investing in people in your business, or are you spending money? Like, are you getting someone to do your graphics for your social media, but you have no idea what the return on investment is? You're supposed to do it, so you're doing something, right? You're paying somebody $50 a week or $100 a month to do a post here and there. Are you getting a return on your investment? You got to know what things to cut and what things to double down on. So sweep the floors. I'm all for sweeping the floors in the beginning, but you need to replace yourself as soon as possible. There's a good possibility that 99% of your mastery could be hired out. When I realized that there was about 5% of what I did that people hired me for that I couldn't just put into a system, delegate it to a person, put it in a timeline, and let them know when the deadline was for it. When I had that all set up in a system, I realized how little I actually need to do. When you do that, you shift from being the solo expert and being the governor on the growth of your business to now stepping back, or I could say stepping up into the CEO and the owner of the business, and you're overseeing it, and you come in for your specialty to do that 1 call a week or those 2 calls a week, or someone is they want you to consult, and it's $500 an hour, $2,000 an hour, whatever it is, for you to go in and do your one thing instead of doing the $8 an hour for video editing. I want you to get that into your thinking that you don't have to do it all. And when you're doing it all, if you think it's a hobby, you enjoy doing it, you're going to do it instead of watching TV, cool, do that. But if it's something you're actually taking your work hours out of your day away from your family, doing these things and learning these things, it's almost like you're avoiding something. So what are you avoiding doing? If you can identify what you're avoiding, if you can identify why you're doing those things and actually realize the cost of putting off you being in your mastery 100% of the time. So stop spending time on busy work and invest in freedom and expansion. Freedom in your business to do what you want when you want, to be outside of your business, to go on vacation and it's still growing and moving without you. An expansion of yourself. Working on yourself and becoming a better human, becoming deeper in your craft. You have the opportunity to do that because you're not sitting around doing all the little busy work. You've hired all that stuff out. And guess what? It's not scary after you do it once or twice and you realize, why have I waited so long? I can actually have experts do this, and I can have people that I just show how to do it. The people with low skill, there's a lot of ramping up time. There's a lot of poor quality, all of those things. But when you're investing in an expert, you don't have that trial and error time. They already know what to do. This is their specialty, just like you're doing your specialty. So we help coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs expand their reach and elevate their presence with minimal time and effort. I just want you to understand how much value you have of your time. And we all know that once time is gone, we're not getting it back. So please stop editing your videos. Please stop doing any of the busy work. You need to be focused on your mastery. And you think if you want to be one of the best in the world, be in your mastery and keep going deeper. I just talked about that a couple days ago. This is your job. Your job is to be pursuing mastering your one thing. Everything else, figure out how quickly you can delegate it. When you hire somebody, what can my return on investment be on that? And how can I assure it by doing the work, sweeping the floors behind them until it's done. And you know what? It's moving on its own now. Everybody's figured it out. They know their place. They know my standards. They know how I speak, so they can write my emails. They know what I want in a blog post, so they're writing all that blog post for me. They're taking some of my old articles and videos, and they're putting all that stuff out there. I'm going a little over 10 minutes today, but I want this to be something that speaks to you because I've seen so many people doing busy work. The world is missing out on your genius. The world is missing out on you being able to help them because you're busy doing the stuff that is taking your time up because you're avoiding doing something. I don't know what it is. But if this is you, if you want to get your time back, hire experts to do the things for you, like all the video editing, the podcast producing, all of the graphics, doing your social media posts for you. So you know what? You do the social media posts that go out for you. You can check on them. You can comment here and there as you feel fit. But it's not something you need to do. What you need to do is you need to serve your clients. We take care of the rest. All right? If that's you, go ahead and book a call with me. Go to ascendmedia.com/call. Again, that's ascend, ASYND, media.com/call. Look forward to talking with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.